What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Welcome back to Venator Trading. It is Monday, August the 14th, halfway through August, just about. It is 7 a.m. New York time. So good morning to everyone here stateside. Good afternoon to everyone on the other side of the pond. And good evening to everyone on the other side of the world. Welcome in, y'all. This is the 10K to $2 million funding challenge, officially sponsored by Bespoke Funding Program. And you can get 15% off and an 85% profit split using code Venator on any challenge you purchase. So welcome in, guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Mine was, just chill. We didn't really do much. Watched all of Mayor of Kingstown, the second season. We hadn't watched that, so we finished that off, which was like 6 other episodes. It's like 10 long, but we watched the final 6 this weekend. It's pretty intense. What else did I do? Went out on a date, had dinner. It was chill. We sat by the pool for about 3 hours yesterday. I didn't look at one chart. I did 0 back testing all weekend long. It was nice, man. Didn't really do much. But we're back. We had one winner last week. We had one loser. We're at 4% drawdown. We're slowly but surely clawing our way out of a month and a half of drawdown. And tired of the summer months, man. Tired of it. Ready for it to get back into a nice trending environment. That would be nice. But glad you guys are here. Biolomansky, Beeswax, Adrian, Red Ezekiel, Mr. Alpha Bridge, and Cisco. You guys are the first in this week, man. Thanks for being here. Welcome back. I'm going to start jumping around the charts here and seeing what we see. We have a new chat pair we need to vote on. Oh. Cisco Hope, the winner of last week's 10K. Hopefully you got your account all situated with them already. You didn't let me know. I didn't see on Twitter that they gave you any problems with that. Typically, they've been very, very quick about getting those account details out to the winners. So got it all the same day. That's fantastic. Good to hear. What's up, LOL? So I'm going to be building out the Discord channel this week. I might be tapping a couple of you on the shoulders if I run into some problems. But hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have the Discord channel up and going. And that'll give everyone another place just to kind of hang out and talk charts, analysis, encouragement, trading strategies, psychology, all of that stuff in there. So that when we're off the stream, we can kind of stay in touch a little bit better. And I think that'll be good as we grow here too. So I'm going to get that built out. Oh my gosh. I was not ready to wake up today, I can tell you. There's a new show on, why does that say XSplit VCAM? Why does that say that? How do I get that off of there? Upgrade to remove watermark. Man, everybody wants your money. Everybody wants your money. That's so funny. Well, I'm fine with the watermark saying on there today. Maybe I'll take care of that when we get off the stream. I just noticed that. Is this like the first day that's been there? Or has that been there for a while? I think this is like the first time it's been there. That's weird. This little mark over here on my, that's the first day I've seen that in there. Maybe it's been there for a long time and I just haven't noticed, but. Yash Rathi, hello, welcome in. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know where that, I guess today, maybe it was like a 3-month free trial with this webcam thing. I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize I'm just using a generic little like Logitech webcam. I guess there's a different software that, first time to see that. Okay, so maybe it's just today. Michael Dahl, good morning, welcome in. Good to have you, buddy. Good to have you. All right, here on Eurodollar, here's what I'm seeing. I am more inclined to be bearish here for a little bit longer. Oh, gosh, I got to stop yawning. We've got a nice little 4-hour breaker right here. This 4-hour breaker is where we took that loss on Friday. Or whenever it was. Was that Friday? No, it's Wednesday. No, that's the one we won. Maybe I already deleted the loss. I can't remember. Anyway, we have a 4-hour breaker right here. A nice clean run of liquidity here. Bam, we pop up, we grab liquidity, we grab it here and here, we take it both out, and then we displace back down through this 4-hour breaker. So these 3 candles together, all of that is your 4-hour breaker. This could be the high of the week in here. You could just sell at 50% of that. There is a small little tiny fair value gap right up in here. You can see all the 1 hour. Oh, excuse me. It did not get completely filled in. Any retrace back up into there could be a nice little short sell opportunity there. And it works. You could just do this on the 4-hour time frame even. You just need to anticipate that you're probably going to hold that for overnight, which I don't like to do on these kind of setups. But even if you're going for a 1 to 2 to 1, that's not, you may not have to hold that terribly long, but something like that could work. About 50% of that breaker, there's a small little 1 hour fair value gap. I'm not sure what the 30-minute. On the 15, you get up. There's one down in here. So, I mean, you might be able to do that. But I would just probably target 50% of that 4-hour breaker if I was looking for a longer term hold for the week. Potentially, you could aim for these equal lows down here. Not a bad little swing trade set up here on the 4-hour time frame. But that's what I see and will be looking for through this week. We've got some red folder news. Let me see. I think Tuesday. No red folder news today. And then we've got retail sales coming out tomorrow. Empire State Manufacturing Index comes out tomorrow. Then Wednesday, you have FOMC meeting minutes come out on Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard New York time. Thursday, you have unemployment claims, and then there's no news on Friday. Euro has some final core CPI coming out Friday. That might move euro dollar a little bit. But as far as dollar news goes, those are the days we'll be a little more cautious before we get into setups. The retail sales. Oh, goodness. Gosh. I got to wake up. The retail sales, I will wait to trade until those numbers pass. So Tuesday morning will be, probably won't take any trades till after 8:30. Retail sales is one of those that I it's not on my don't trade list as far as red folder news goes, but if I see a really, really A+ setup before, we might take it. Otherwise, I'll probably just wait. There's no reason. I mean, if the setup's there, maybe we'll take it. We'll see. That's tomorrow. Today, I'm going to be looking for some sells here. If we can find a little setup on the 1 hour, you might be able to use this little buy if you were, because I'm looking for sells, but now that we've had this run of liquidity here, all of this, I'm anticipating a sell off. I'm going to take off this 4 hour that 4 hours box right there. Now that we've had this run of liquidity here, I'm anticipating, where did this run on liquidity begin? It began down here. So if we get a clean displacement down through this low, could take it. It wouldn't surprise me if we get some displacement higher back up into this 4 hour breaker. And if we do, then I would wait for that liquidity grab and then displacement lower. Mondays again, Mondays are typically a shorter stream for us here at Venator Trading. I'm less inclined to take a position on Monday. It's my least profitable trading day, and I'm not just trying to jump into a trade the first setup I see on the week. So I'm gonna have to be thoroughly convinced that we don't need to come back up here. And that would, for me, that's going to probably be just displacement through this low and then a retrace back up into it. And then we could target the lower end of this fair value gap down here. So we'll see what happens as the session plays out here. Probably stay on till, we'll probably get a good 2 hours in. Usually we're right around 2 hours for the stream on Mondays. I do have a couple things this morning I need to attend to shortly after that, so, but we'll see. Losses on GU, that's right. It was the GU, there we go, which we haven't popped over on. That just sucked. And the more I looked at it, the more I was like, I don't know, I wish I would have just used my rules of putting my stop above the candle that created the fair value gap, which would have been way up here. And we would have at least gotten to break even. I don't know that. Well, first of all, we would have closed it out at the end of the trading session. I wouldn't have held through the weekend. So we would have closed at the latest at the end of the 16 hour, but probably around the 15 hour. Which would have been basically break even anyway. But we could have avoided the L at a minimum had I just done that. But we didn't, and lesson learned. I will continue to use my rules to refine. Anyway, let's look at the daily on GU here. Also, still feeling bearish on this on the daily time frame. Any moves back up into liquidity, we have these nice clean relative equal lows under here on the daily time frame. All of these nice little relative equal lows down here. So I will be anticipating some sells. That's the 4 hour, but that's really clean right here. So I'm going to be anticipating some more bearishness to GU here. On the 1 hour, we're getting a nice grab of liquidity right here. And we're getting a nice grab of liquidity right here. So if we get some displacement down through here, this could be a nice little opportunity for a breaker setup. Displace through here, leave a fair value gap, come back up, tap in, and then at least these lows, but you could even target this swing low down here and this swing low here. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for GU and EU. Slightly bearish this week. Some more downside. So we'll see if we can get a setup to participate in any of that. DXY will be opposite, more bullish. On the daily time frame, we're back up into this daily order block. Today we've already broken up above that daily fair value gap. But I would anticipate if we get any kind of pullback into today's low, it would be back down into this area. And then I feel like we're going to be up into these highs up here. Yeah, any pullback into this area, I am going to anticipate a move up. Already running some liquidity there and pushing up already. See what we're seeing here. Ran liquidity here, starting to displace higher. So here is what we saw in GU on the 15-minute. If now that we're displacing above this high, probably need to wait until we get some displacement here. If it wants to come back down and grab any more of this, then that'll just give us another cleaner opportunity to buy. But for now, like euro dollar, we'll be waiting for some displacement through probably either that. You could use the one inside. I would probably want to use this bigger candle here if we get displacement through that. GU, we don't have to look as far down. Any displacement through those lows. And again, if we make another high here, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. It's just going to be a liquidity grab, a stop run, and we're going to come back down here. So we'll just wait and see if it wants to run up again, or if it just grabbed all this liquidity here and now we're just going to head lower. I'd like to see some displacement through that and a fair value gap in here. Maybe something like that. Use the 10-minute. 15 minutes, not much different. All right. So that's what we're kind of, we'll be watching for dollar, GU, and EU. GJ. At the end of last week, we closed, the body of this did not close above the wicks, but it did close above these other body highs here. So we finally closed up above that. We're obviously in a very bullish uptrend, so still in a bullish uptrend. I wouldn't want to change that bias until we see some kind of break of structure. If we see on GJ a big daily candle back down into the range again, maybe you can target some lows, but you're still in a very aggressive bullish uptrend here. So Grabbing a little liquidity here through some old this retail trend line right here. We've dropped down through that trend line and grabbed some liquidity, some stop hunts. We're moving up higher. We have already taken out the buy side liquidity here, so any kind of move back down into 50% of this, we might be able to find this current leg up. So anywhere it lines up with around this imbalance right here, OTE area. This run on liquidity, yeah, maybe somewhere near this up candle came down. We grabbed liquidity, made one more little stab. I don't know that we need to come back this far. This is the candle that we could displace off now that we've broken through it. This little fair value gap in here, I'm just going to notate this little area right here. Excuse me. I'm not just going to enter a trade right here, but this might be interesting here. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do anything with GJ today. I'm just watching and waiting. EJ was our chat pair, so we're going to pass over that. We'll look at US 30. Just in a big choppy range overall. You still have this. You have these relative equal lows under here now, along with this fair value gap. Kind of what I would anticipate for a draw on liquidity for the week are these lows and this fair value gap here. So that's what I would look for on the indexes, is a little bit of some kind of tap into this. If it's going to want to go higher, I feel you're going to see a pullback into here. Very choppy. Nothing clean, nothing worth of note that you would want to get involved in any of that. You're just in the middle of a range bouncing around. So hands off US 30 for me on that. All right, we need a new chat pair to look at. So you guys drop in your options. EJ we did last week, so that'll be off the table, but anything else is fair game. Y'all pop them in there and let me know what you want. EU bank holiday tomorrow. Oh, I did not realize that. Do you still take setups on EU on those days? Yes. I will during the New York session. A Gilded Gal back, showing back up. Euro Aussie. Let's see if we get a couple repeats, and then we'll throw up a little poll for you guys, and you guys can pick the chat pair for the week. Oh. Aussie dollar. Another Euro Aussie. Got a pound CAD or dollar CAD, dollar yen. Another dollar CAD, a third dollar CAD. EA has 2 and dollar CAD has 3, so those look like the 2 most popular, but there's only been like 6 of you that have put something in there. Ooh, fourth dollar CAD. Mm. I'm very hesitant to put that on there, but there you go. Vote away. Vote away. What's up, Sir Dev? No updates. We're just voting on the chat pair for the week. We've done a little analysis, but there's no setups or anything going on. We're just chilling. Hey, David Dreams, welcome in. Kenneth, good morning. We'll give you another minute, or we'll wait. We've got another 1 minute. 1 minute. We'll wait till the 7:30. So you got about 45 more seconds, and then I'll shut down that vote. USD CAD is got a pretty good lead there. Gosh, I am sleepy. Oh, I feel dead today. I don't know why. I feel like I slept really well last night, but all right. Poll's over. Dollar CAD it is. I used to look at dollar CAD a lot. Ooh. We've got some news that will change some of our news stuff because there's some CAD news this week. Tomorrow at 7:30, you've got CPI for the Canadian dollar. So that will be something we will have to watch. See if there's anything other CAD. I think that's the only red folder CAD news this week. So definitely tomorrow we'll see how the dollar CAD responds to that. Weekly time frame. We've grabbed liquidity. We've changed structure. We've broken through this swing high here to make a new high. Very bullish. Left behind a massive fair value gap here. Currently trading back up into this weekly order block right here. Inside this little, we have a weekly fair value gap right here that we tapped up into last week. We have tapped up into again this week already. We have opened this week a little lower, and then we've just climbed. So we closed Friday here. We opened down here, and we have not put in a bottom wick yet today for this week. So it wouldn't surprise me if it comes back down to put in a bottom wick here off of this candle. The market does not like to leave no wicks left behind. So I would anticipate potentially a run at least on this level. We've taken out a little buy side here. Obvious relative equal lows here. And then this right here is your weekly open. After we take that out, then I would anticipate dollar rising here. So we'll wait and see after we take out some liquidity here or here. It doesn't have to come way back down in here. I think you're just going to see some dollar strength this week. So I think anytime you can get below the weekly open here, then we can anticipate finding a breaker setup here to run this fair value gap and then the weekly order block. This becomes these highs up here. Let me see. Yeah, this big daily volume imbalance right here. Somewhere up in here, I think you get up to this week. So I could be completely wrong, but that's kind of what I'm vibing with right now. So I'll wait to see if we can pull back down into this weekly open at all before we see a reversal here. A low of the week maybe tomorrow. Maybe it's when that news hits. A spike down, and then I think you see dollar strength here. That's my heading into the initial week bias. So all right, we're into the 7:30 new 30-minute candle. Again, we've grabbed some liquidity here. There's nothing to do until we get displacement through some of these levels. So we're just chilling and waiting. GU, I would like to see displacement down through here before. Again, it could come up today. It could come back up into this 4-hour breaker on EU, and it could come up and grab some of these highs, or maybe this high up here, rebalance a little bit of this before it wants to come down. So it doesn't just have to be straight bearish today. That's my inclination, and that's the setup that I'll be looking for. These are the closest breakers that if we get displacement through, that I would be looking to take a short on. but it could just come back up and have a little weekly high put in up in here or up in here. So that's all still in the cards currently. All right. Good afternoon from South Africa. Bakang, welcome in. Is that a bullish breaker on EU? Technically it is. Technically it is a bullish breaker. Because I'm bearish bias, I am going to wait to see anything else happening. Euro dollar did take out Asian lows overnight during the London session. We've had displacement up. The one part that I would probably caution you on is that the displacement took out a ton of buy-side liquidity up here. There is still this 4-hour breaker above that it didn't quite reach back up to, so maybe it left that and it wants to displace higher here now. But it did take out quite a bit of buy-side on this displacement leg. Your preference would have been that it left a lot of these highs in place and it displaced through here, and after this candle, you get your pullback into this fair value gap. And then you would have wanted to run that. But it did take out a lot of this buy side already. So caution there if not that it, again, it could want to run. It could have just left this liquidity here to run back up into this 4-hour breaker. And it may very well do that, but I would not, because my bias coming into today is bearish. I'm only looking to take those sells. LOL says there's a new thing. It's like PD array on new ICT 2023 mentorship, which is the NWOG. Yeah, he talked about the NWOG for a while, several weeks. The NDOG and the NWOG. New week daily opening and the new week opening. Again, he's got so many different. I think he says he's got over 85 PD arrays. It's just too much. You need to just find one concept or two concepts that you can marry together and just focus on building a good, solid plan around those. Owen says, anyone have any idea how long withdrawals take with Bespoke? Mine have been quick. So it's within 24 hours, I think is what they say. But mine have always been quicker than that. I've seen some within hours and even minutes. I've seen guys post that they've gotten it, within an hour or less. And then I've seen, mine were both, one was under 24 hours. The refund took a little bit longer than that. Michael Dahl says, I'm long on EU off of the OTE and the fair value gap breaker. Good luck, Michael. Again, it's not a bad, your analysis is correct here as far as you've got the London high, you got the London low, you pull your OTE, you do have a little breaker. These two 15-minute candles right here were what initiated that run on liquidity. You've got a fair value gap right in the middle. You might be able to get a nice 2-to-1 or 1-to-2 off of that. Potentially. So you're if you're taking that, the setup he's talking about is this breaker right here. So these two up close candles initiated this run on liquidity. We've displaced through them. There's a fair value gap right there. You would want to, I mean, I probably would have waited until it got down to about 50% of that, because there's still a fair value gap space down here. I wouldn't have been triggered into that yet, and my stop would be below the candle that created the fair value gap, which means my 1 to 2 would be up there. So I would not have been in this if I'm looking to go long, which I'm not. I would not even be in this trade yet, but that's my strategy, not yours. Cisco says EU looks bullish on daily to me. Yeah, it could be, man. Could be. Everybody sees it the way they see it, and you could be right. I think long term, I am bullish. I've said that last week, but short term, I'm a little more bearish. SMT on EU with the London low. London low took out this low here, and the DXY did not take out this high. DXY didn't take out this high. Euro did. Yeah, we'll see, man. Good luck. Did you get in? Are you using both of these candles, Michael, as your breaker? Or are you just using the top candle? Which candles are you guys using there for your breaker? Doc Tung Lu, hey, good morning. Oh, and good to know, Brad, you'll be glad to know I'm getting my first payout. What? Owen, yeah, baby. Let's go. What account size are you getting a payout on? Let's go, man. Michael, I'm not really trying to take the breaker. This is OTE setup, which is just entry. Gotcha. It's just more confluence. How do you handle your stop loss on the OTE? Do you put it below the 0.79? Do you put it below the swing? Put it below the breaker? I mean, the fair value gap? How do you handle your stop placement on that? It looks like the dollar on DXY is bullish for me. EU 5-minute market. I'm not sure if that might just... Yeah, I'm bullish on DXY for sure. I'm bullish dollar. I'm bearish euro dollar. I'm bearish pound dollar. But do not let my evaluation sway your analysis. You need to do your own analysis. You need to be confident in taking your setups and your trading strategy. It does not matter what I say. It does not matter what I see. I can see things wrong. So don't use my analysis to if you see things the way you see them, you have to execute that. Absolutely 100% you have to execute that. I just put the, Michael says, I just put it on the swing low I draw from the fib. Did you draw it from the 2 a.m. candle? So like a 12.8, 13 pip stop-ish, something like that. Gotcha. Well, I kind of hope it plays out for you because that would play into my scenario of price running back up into this 4-hour breaker before we get the sell side taken out. So if not, I've already highlighted what I'm looking for here, and that's to see some displacement. Technically, very, very technically, you just had a small little run of liquidity here, and then you've displaced through. There's not a super clean breaker in there. I'm going to need these lows to be displaced through on euro dollar. And GU, I've already got that noted here. So GJ, I'm not doing anything with today. Dollar CAD. I'd really like to see dollar CAD take out and put in a weekly low below the open here before it moves up, but we'll see. 10K account, reusing profits for a 100K challenge. Let's go, man. Oh, love it. Oh, it's great, baby. That's great. I love it, Owen. I love to see it happen. Michael says, yeah, I'm also expecting we put in a high of the week early in the week as manipulation and then go lower the rest of the week. It's just why I'm taking along today. Not a bad plan. I like it, Michael. I think it's good. Because that's a counter trend trade based on my bias, I wouldn't be in that trade. That's the main reason I'm not taking any longs up into this. I'm going to want to see confirmation to go short here. Alpha Bridge, I'm not an ICT trader, but I think EU going to do a liquidity grab around 0830. Dun, dun. Off of this swing low here. I mean, maybe it could. Maybe it could. I mean, that's definitely, we put in a swing low here on the weekly time frame. I would anticipate at least 0913 gets run. Maybe we tap into this weekly fair value gap again. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. August, you don't typically get good trending runs in August. So while I'm bearish on Euro short term, I don't know that we're going to go and trend all the way down here. We might. But I am anticipating September, October, November that we start making higher highs here. Unless there's some crazy economic numbers that come out that change the course of the U.S. economy and all of that, it's kind of what I'm thinking is long-term bullish. But if we get breaker structures and we start trending lower, then obviously we'll have to adjust our bias and move and flow with the chart as it prints. So this is when the algo does the opposite. Yeah. I mean, We are the liquidity. More often than not, we are the liquidity. What's going on with the FIFA Women's World Cup? I haven't kept up with it at all, but I know there's a lot of soccer fans in here. Football fans. I know the USA got kicked out pretty early. That's all I know. Michael says, I have no clue. Michael, I thought you were a huge football fan, man. How are you not keeping up with that? Everybody just follows their own country and then. Do they have a women's professional league over there, like the Champions League and the Premier League and all that? Do they have a women's version of that? Is it like the WNBA over here that nobody really watches or keeps up with? Man U has their women's team, but don't know much about the league for women's. I mean, women's sports, they're just not on the same level of athleticism and entertainment value as the men's athletic sports are. And that's not a sexist comment, I don't believe. That's just women cannot compete with men athletically at the highest level. Otherwise, they would be on the same clubs with the men. And that doesn't happen because they're not faster, they're not stronger, they're not quicker. Men and women are different. I don't think that's a sexist thing to say. Men and women are different. We're built differently. Yeah, man, it's biology. It's obvious. It's common sense. It has nothing to, that is not a statement of worth. That is not a statement of value. That is just clearly a descriptor of physicality. Physicality does not equate to worth or value or quality. It has nothing to do with that. So Mr. Alfie says, I disagree. I find the women's games way more entertaining to watch than the men's games. There's much less diving or play acting and more football. They're not the biggest, they're not as big as babies. Is that what you're saying? They don't have all the drama that I haven't seen any women's football, so I have no idea. Exactly different, just different. Any feminists to compete with V? Listen, I'm not trying to say women are amazing. They are, their differences are what make them amazing. And we desperately, everyone needs women to be women, and everyone needs men to be men. We all need that. But it's not an issue of, again, women playing in sports, fine, compete, go for it. But for me, it's just not as entertaining or fun to watch as it is to see the men compete against each other. It's just a whole nother world of competition. South Africa's out, so I don't watch anymore. Also, this is getting proven by transgenders breaking women's records. Yeah. It's kind of sad to see that play out. If I have two daughters, I have two sons and two daughters. And neither one of my daughters were into athletics. If they wanted to, I would have let them. But if they were, and there were biological males competing against them, I would be very upset as a father that would be allowed. Because you can't, they can't compete on the same level. It's not a fair competition field. As soon as you introduce biological men competing against biological women. I would disagree with football, but agree when it comes to rugby. I mean, I don't keep up with women's sports that much, but I know like here in the US we have the only professional. Well, I guess they have a professional women's MLS, Major League Soccer, and I don't really keep up with it, but I do think that it's picked up some momentum. And then we have the WNBA, which is probably the largest of the women's sports here in the States, is probably WNBA. It probably has the most traction, and it's still so small, and it's still just not. It's still, to me, just not super fun to watch. So and that's just my personal preference. I want to see, like, if you want to compete in a sport as a woman, I'm all for it. But you're not going to be able to compete at the same physical level as a man. But agree when it comes to rugby. Women's rugby, God, that's got to be brutal. Aditya, welcome in. Doing well. We're just chilling. We know what we're waiting for and watching for. I'm waiting for some displacement through this breaker here. I don't know that we're going to get it today. We'll see. Michael's trade is creeping into profit here off of the OTE entry. We'll see if Eurodollar wants to come up into this 4-hour breaker or not. I kind of hope it does, just that it grabs a little bit more liquidity and then we get some stronger displacement down. EU consolidating off of the 5-minute fair value gap. Yep. Right here. If you were using a 5-minute time frame, which I'm not, this run of liquidity started down here. If you could use an OTE off of this displacement leg, which also lines up with this breaker. Which also lines up with there's fair value gap here. I would probably just target probably something like that. Put above the swing high. Small little fair value gap above it, so above the candle with the last swing high. That's a 5-minute. So you've had a run of liquidity. You're above a 50%. You're in an OTE. There's your 5-minute breaker right here. These two down close candles initiated this run on liquidity. We displaced through aggressively, and fair value gap. 10-minute has a cleaner fair value gap right there. Put it above the high of the candle that created the fair value gap. It's only a 4 pip stop, so I don't like that. You guys know 6 or 7 is about as high or as low as I want my stops to be. 4 pips is teeny tiny. I don't like that. If I was going to do a 7 pip stop, I'd probably just put it up here at 8 above this fair value gap. But I don't use the 5-minute, 10-minute. Not a super good clean run of liquidity run there for me. That's why I didn't like that. Tennis, women's tennis. Now that I will say, you are 100% correct, Alpha Bridge. Women's tennis is probably as entertaining to watch as men's tennis. That is one good example of a female sport that is just as entertaining to watch as the men. I agree with that. I agree with that. Also, figure skating, women's figure skating, also fun to watch. Also, women's gymnastics, fun to watch. What else? Running. It's not fun to watch people run a marathon. Maybe the sprinting, like the races, like a 100-yard dash or the hurdles or something like that. That's kind of entertaining. I could watch that. That's cool. Women's MMA. I'm not sure I like that. Curling. Yeah. I don't know that curling is a sport. That's like cornhole. Cornhole's not a sport. It's a backyard game. Curling to me is like a backyard game. It's like pool, billiards. It's like it's not a sport. Like poker, there are some great women poker players that can compete with men because it's not a game of athletic prowess. Like curling, you could have women and men on the same curling team. Not like that's fine. I don't journal every day. Red Ezekiel, I do not journal every day. Yeah, DTA price is very choppy from August, 100%. It's not great. Coming into the 8 o'clock hour here, we're getting some displacement down below on GU here. So we'll see how this 15-minute candle closes out, but that could be our sign. Michael, doesn't look like your trade's going too well there, buddy. I'm sorry about that. If this 15-minute candle can close outside of this range, I will set up a trade inside the GU here. hopefully it doesn't take out these relative equal lows down here and just run away. If it takes out these relative equal lows, I'm not going to be a fan of this trade. But if we can get a strong 15-minute closure below here, then I'll target an entry up inside here. Oops. It would look something like this. If I'm just trying to target those lows, then I could move my stop up above the breaker. But we'll see how this candle closes here first. Women's volleyball, that's a good sport to watch, although it's more entertaining to watch than men's volleyball, 100%. But women's volleyball, it's decent to watch. Some backyard if you have an ice rink in it. You don't have to have an ice rink. It's just like a lane of ice. I don't know how long is the curling lane? How long is a curling lane? And it's only what, like 15 feet wide, maybe 20 feet wide? I don't know. I don't know that much about curling. I'm just making stuff up. What about chess? Yeah, well, see, that's a game. It's not a sport. And I don't watch chess. I don't find it entertaining to watch. But we'll see. Swimming. Yeah, swimming. Again, I don't want to see men and women compete against each other in swimming. I don't think it's going to be a good competition. But the women's individual swimming, that's it's competitive and entertaining. It's stressful and high competition there, so that's good. Cliff diving, oof. Okay. That coffee is running through me. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break real quick, and I'll be right back. Man, GU, come on, baby. Give us a little pullback here before we get that 15-minute close. Just trying to think of any random sport now. Synchronized swimming. Now, that's not a sport. I mean, we need to get pretty clear on our definition of sport. That is not a sport. It's a talent. But just because you have a talent doesn't mean it's... And even if that talent takes some sort of athleticism, that doesn't make it a sport. Synchronized swimming is not a sport. Cliff diving, that's probably a sport. Like diving. Women's diving, pretty cool. Men's diving, also cool. Golf, there's a reason women aren't on the PGA. They can't hit the ball as far. But besides that, the women's PGA does not have hardly... I mean, I know that there are diehard golf fans that will go watch women's golf. And I'm sure there are some very, 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 very highly skilled women's golfers, but they can't compete with the men. Otherwise, they would be on the PGA. And most of that just has to do with the fact that they cannot hit the ball as far. They can't do it. All right, coming into the close here, if we get a pullback, I'm going to set this trade up on GU. On the 15-minute, I'm looking at an entry. Whoop. Right there. And where's those lows? Yeah. Come on. Work, damn it. All right. There's that. 26934 27081 and 26631. Copy that out. Man, what is up with getting trade alerts? $1.26934. Stop loss 1.27081. And my TP is 26631. There we go. Copied out. Let me make sure I don't want to take any chances on this other account because it screwed up on the 100K last time. All right, there's the other 10K, and then let me get the the 100K up. All right. I prefer this thing not to take out all that juicy sell side here. Eurodollar getting some displacement down lower now too. So if the GU trade doesn't work out, we may still be able to participate here with our EU. We'll need to see a 15-minute good 15-minute closure here. Is esports actual sports to you? No. There's no athletic. There's nothing athletic about esports. It's a skill that you have, but it's not. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not a sport. And I've never watched esports, so I don't even know. But I know what it is, and it's definitely not a sport. What's up, Kai? Good morning. Welcome in. Is it possible to take a look at GJ? Sure. Not much going on with GJ. It's run buy side liquidity. This is kind of where I'm looking to see what happens when we get down to GJ. Oop. I'm going to stay on for about 30 more minutes today, and then we'll call it a stream here. Dollar popping off. I'd really like to see the dollar pull back into some of these fair value gaps. That'll give our GU trade a chance to play out. EU, the 15-minute, another 5 minutes here. We're going to need to see this candle close below, and then we might have a setup on EU here. Just chilling and watching and waiting now, man. There's just not much going on. We identified what we wanted to see happen, and now we're just waiting to see if we can get a pullback. If it runs this sell side liquidity, we'll cancel this trade. If EU doesn't close outside of that breaker, then there's no good setup on EU yet. So we're just waiting to see what the market's going to do here. I think this is these relative equal highs here on the 1 hour time frame. Going to look pretty nice. That's going to be our first draw on liquidity on DXY here. I don't know that we get there today. We might. Imagine EU turtle soups my stop with 1 pip and then pumps. Yeah, it could. Take out that low, run back up. It's kind of a seek and if it does, it's going to be what we call a seek and destroy profile, where it's just expanding out, taking liquidity on both sides. Sorry you had to take an L today, Michael. That sucks, man. I saw Bespoke put out a video of a guy who won a 400K challenge from Trader Mike. And he then passed that challenge, got funded, and got a payout, almost a 5-figure payout off of that free 400K challenge. And he used ICT Concepts. I haven't seen the interview yet, but I did see that ICT commented on that video. So that's kind of cool. I had that same L, but entered off the breaker. Yeah, I mean, remember, I did say, I gave you my caution. I gave you my caution. So when you're, if your bias was short, you shouldn't take counter trend trades long. Still early in the league, we'll get an opportunity to get back. Absolutely, man. There'll be other opportunities. Well, it looks like GU is just not going to play nice here. And not give us any sort of opportunity to participate. EU though may still. EU might still give us something to do. If it doesn't run too hard here. Red Ezekiel, man, 3 of you guys took that L today. Oof. Remember, if price runs away from you and you didn't get in, you're not missing a trade. You either get your entry, you either get your setup, or there is no trade. And you just come back the next day because the market isn't going anywhere. The market is not, it's not going to disappear. These same setup happens all the time. And so just because you see price run away and you didn't get a chance to get in does not mean that you have missed a trade. So it's all okay. Everything's fine. All right, new 15-minute candle here. 30-minute candle just closed. I feel like our GU trade's not going to work out here at all. We did get a nice closure on the EU setup here. And it looks like both of them are just going to tank and not give any opportunities to play nice today. That's unfortunate. That was a nice looking setup, and then we just couldn't get our pullback there. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that trade on all these accounts. Cancel. Cancel. And cancel. That's unfortunate. All right, put that up on Twitter. All right, here you go. Oh man, cool. just had a Elise the MV just followed me on Twitter. 20,000 followers. And commenting on so I had that post. I put out a post yesterday that said, I was talking about how I had this crazy conversation last week with some friends of mine. This group of friends, we're very close. We hang out all the time. And 2.5 years ago, when I was still struggling with trading and not doing well, they would always, give me a hard time, make fun of me. Not like bullying me, but they just give me a hard time about trying to figure out how to be a day trader, and joking around with me and cracking on me and all that kind of stuff, talking smack. And this last week, they've been following along, and they know what's been going on. They know how well it's been going for me. And when we had lunch last week sometime, and they were all like, no, seriously, can you teach us how to do this? What would you charge us to teach us how to do this? But that post has just blown up. Like, I'm so surprised at how much like and comment and from other people. Eurotrader commented on it, but now this Elise the MV has commented on it as well. So that's cool. I like it. She says, that's how it goes. Even then, they'll still bet on your failure. People who know you a certain way expect to always see you that way. I don't know who she is, but breakout traders shining nowadays. The breakout traders, breakout traders are getting a lot of love. For sure, man. There's so much non-pullbacks right now, but that'll change. These setups come and go every single day. Michael, yeah, it did hit MT of H4 for value gap and daily, so might have already made the high of the week. I was watching for the MT of last week's range and the 15-minute fair value gap above. Not a bad plan. It just, unfortunately, we may have already hit that high of the week. We got above the daily open, and then we've tanked. So the high of the week may be in. We'll see. Unfortunate if it is, but my trade for the day is done. I had my setup. It's not going to give me the pullback that I need. So I'm going to step aside for the rest of Monday, and we'll wait and see if there's anything else that pops up. So I'm just happy to see a setup form and a trade get called out, even if we have to cancel the trade. Seeing your setup form and then being able to execute that's all we can do. We're sitting in the tree stand hunting trophy bucks, and sometimes they get exactly where we need them to be to take the shot, and other times we can see them moving around and they come out, they poke their head out, and then they take off. And today it just took off and we didn't get a chance to take them down. LOL, he has a video on his channel going through it all. Yeah, the YouTube, the trading strategy, definitely you can go see it. Can you talk more on that? Because that's something I think we all go through with friends and family. It's hard. I mean, if you don't have people around you that can support you and encourage you, it's difficult, especially when it's people that you love and that are near and dear to you in your personal life. When they don't support you, it's tough. I've been in a situation where, like my wife, there were times where she never told me to quit. She never told me I should quit. She's wondered, she's often wondered, babe, how long are you going to stick with this? She'll say stuff like that, or would say stuff like that. She's like, I believe in you, but you're so frustrated. Why are you still doing this? So it was more about her feeling bad for me, seeing me struggle, and wanting me to stop hurting. And so her encouragement wasn't necessarily to just quit or tell me that I'm never going to do it, but it was more like, just, this is miserable. Why are you doing this to yourself? And, babe, maybe you should just not do this. Maybe there's something else for you, that kind of stuff. But it was never, you can't do this, or that you're stupid for doing this, or that this is never going to work. She never would say stuff like that. But she would be just like, hey, put yourself out of misery. Maybe it's time to pack it in and go on to your next thing. And I've always told her, some people have hobbies wherein they never make any money from their hobbies, but it's just a passion and it's something that they love to do. Like golfers, people who are not professional golfers, but they still go out. They live in a nice neighborhood, or they have a membership to a country club, or whatever it is. Maybe they just love to play golf. They're going to go out and they're going to spend 4 to 6 hours a couple times a week playing golf. And they're going to spend hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars on green fees and cart rentals and new clubs and shoes and equipment, and maybe even lessons to get a little bit better, whatever. And they never have any expectation of becoming a professional golfer. They just this is something they love to do. And that's kind of the way I view trading for me. It's like, even if I'm not profitable, even if I'm not passing challenges, even if I'm not getting payouts, I love to do this. I'm going to sit at the charts and I'm going to figure it out because it fascinates me. It absolutely fascinates me to the core. So I'm always going to do this. Even if I lose these funded accounts and I stop getting payouts, I'm still going to keep doing this because this is what I'm passionate about doing. This is the hobby that I've chosen to fill my time with. And, so when you don't have that support, it's tough. That's why having a community of people that can encourage you and can support you and do understand what you're going through is so valuable. It's so important. Because trading is lonely enough as it is. And if you're not getting personal support from your private circle in real life, then having that community online, place where you can go and get help, advice, encouragement, coaching, support, accountability, all of those things, they know what you're working for. Maybe they're already there and they can help motivate you, or they're in the same place you are and you can at least commiserate together and help each other and encourage each other. All of that's so important. And if you don't have it in real life, you need it online for sure. And there's enough, whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, having that place to go is so key, so vital. So Metro, welcome in. Out in Cali. It's early. It's 5:45 out there, man. That's my boy. Corey, hello. Welcome in. Michael Dahl. Yo, Cisco. I'll stick with this till I die, because once I get there, the snowball effect makes it all worth it. It does. Absolutely. 100%. Mr. Alfie, I'm really lucky because my wife has been so supportive. I'd probably have stopped long ago had she not been so encouraging. Yeah, I mean, when you have people in your life telling you to quit, telling you that you can't do this, and it's the people that you love the most, and they're the ones doing it, it's very hard to stick with it. It's very hard. Same here. I love this mindset. Good. Flight got delayed till 1. Oof. Oof. That's rough. Sorry. That's rough. The dollar is just ripping right now, man. Running for those 1 hour equal highs. GU just completely crapped the bed, fell off a cliff, and we're getting absolutely no return. And that trade is gone. The EU trade is gone. Maybe tomorrow we'll get a pullback up into there, and we might be able to, maybe on a higher time frame, take this 1 hour breaker. So you have this nice little 1 hour breaker right here. You might be able to utilize this on a higher time frame, but we'll see. Peter says, my wife hates to see me trading. She gets mad, emotions overwhelm me, and I lose an account. That's a tough place to be, man, when she's not supportive. I mean, if you're blowing money that you guys can't afford to lose on challenges, then yeah, she has a reason to be upset. But, you know, if what you're investing in, the money that you're putting into this is something that you guys have agreed on, that you've got, like, you know, you've got hobby money or you've got investment money that you can use, it's tough when they don't support it. It's very hard. And especially if you keep saying, babe, it's going to work. These payouts are going to come. This is all going to be fine. And then it never does. Then they just hear you keep making promises that you're not living up to. And it's hard. We all see the potential. That's why we do what we do. But if it's just a tough place to be. Shadow Trades, what's up? Good evening. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here this morning, a little bit of a shorter stream. We had a setup, it didn't hit. Price is running away without us, and I've got a couple other things I need to go take care of this morning and check on. So thank you for being here today. We'll do another live 10K account giveaway on Friday again this week. But we'll be back here again tomorrow, 7 a.m. We've got some red folder news coming up tomorrow, so we'll have to check and see how that plays out. I'll be working on getting the Discord set up. My goal is to have that launched before the end of the week. So I know I've got a couple of you on DMs. I may be reaching out to you soon with all that. But hit that like button before you get out of there. I would appreciate it if you did just smash that like button before you leave today. But hope you all have a great day. Stay safe. Happy hunting. And we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Adios.